Hey friends, Kevin here, your Sacramento, Stockton area realtor and lender, here with this week's weekly real estate report. Now this week I want to start off with something that a lot of people are talking about. Unfortunately, not enough people are talking about, and that is an upcoming change starting in May to the way loan rates are charged. All right, so imagine this, and it kind of works this way. Everybody really does start off with the same rate. And let's just say 4%, because I wish rates were at 4%. So let's just say everybody across the board, regardless of credit score, regardless of down payment, they start you off with a 4% rate. Now, from that rate, fees are charged on that rate based upon your down payment and credit score. And who decides this is the government. Now, government does not set rates. That's done on the open market. But the government, Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, they do set lending criteria. And they also set fees, loan level price adjustments, as we call them, LLPA. They do set fees and charges on these loans. So while that 4% may fluctuate on the open market, and it does, the fees that you are charged to get that rate are set to a certain extent by the government. So as an example, let's take a look at this chart right here. This is the way things are right now today. And if we look at the chart, we can see that right now they've placed 740 as the top tier credit. And this is the loan to value of the house. So if you're only borrowing 60%, you have a 40% down payment, then we would look at this and say, well, you aren't charged any fees. You just get the base rate, the 4%. And as your score gets worse, if it gets down here to 640, you're going to pay a 0.5% of the loan amount, or 0.5 point in fees. And of course, as we move to the right, as your down payment gets smaller and the loan to value goes up, we can see that regardless of your credit score, you're going to pay more in fees. So if you only had, say, 3% down, which would be this column right here, 97%, 3% down, you would pay 0.75% of a fee. You got great credit, not so much down payment, you're going to pay 0.75. As opposed to this guy over here who had 20% down, great credit, they pay 0.5%. So you can see that. And of course, as your credit gets worse, that fee goes up because you are a higher risk. And everything is extremely linear with this. This person over here, great credit, 60% loan to value, no fees. This person way over here in the lower right, less than 620, which by the way, a lot of banks won't even touch. And you have a greater than 97%, which would be less than 3% down payment. You're going to pay 3.75% in fees. Now, keep in mind that rates then fluctuate. Most people would not say, okay, I'll take 4% with a 3.75% fee. You just get a higher rate, which starts lowering the fee. But I want to keep things somewhat simple. All right, that's the way things are today. Now, starting next month, this is the way it's going to work. All right, so in some sense, it looks similar, and it makes a little bit of sense if we look at this column right here. Well, we got to move over a little bit. We'll look at this column over here. So 60 to 70% loan to value, then the better the score, which by the way, we now went up to 780 is top tier. The worse your score gets, the more you're going to pay in fees. And okay, well, so what, right? But let's look at it the other way. Let's take a look at somebody who has a 740 to 759 credit score, which for a FICO home loan score, that is fantastic. It's something to be proud of. It really is a 740. All right, so we start off with a low down payment, no fees, 60 to 70%, you got an eighth, then 0.375, 0.8751, then it starts going back the other way. So if you have less of a down payment, you're going to start paying less in fees until we get all the way down here, where if you're less than 5% down payment, then you're only going to pay 0.5%, as opposed to that person over here who had an 80 to 85% loan to value, they're paying 1%. So wait a minute, this person over here with less down payment, they're paying half the fees as the same credit score who has more money down. Yeah, you heard me right. Those people with a lower down payment, in other words, less skin in the game is the term they love to use, is going to get a better deal. And that is across the board. It doesn't matter where your credit score lies. You're going to get a better deal. Look at some of the, so if we come down here to first-time home buyers, people who are, struggling, maybe you've made a few late payments here and there. You've got 660, 679 credit. You're going to pay with a, 20% down payment. You're right here at 1.875. You've got a little bit less than 20%. You're at 2.25. Well, how do you solve that? Don't bring in a down payment. Now you only have to pay 1.25%. This is nuts. This is absolutely crazy. All right, I want to show you one more slide here, which just shows it. This is whose deal got better. All right, so it's like things got better for anybody from green. Green is things got better for you. Yellow is things stayed about the same. Red means you're now getting a worse deal than you used to get. All right, it's not raw numbers. So you can just see very plainly, anybody over here in this lower right section, things got better for you by somewhere between 1 to 1.75%. And that is 1% to 1.75% of the loan amount or points. That's what you're going to pay less now in this deal. So your deal got quite good. All right. So, and we can see the red right here. This got worse for anybody with pretty decent credit. And they're coming in with a little less than 20% down payment, 15 to a little less than 20%. Things got worse for you. You're going to pay now 3/4 of a point more starting in May than you would today. Why are you paying more? Did you get riskier? No. Nothing. You're the same risk as you were before, but I guess the only way to explain it is somebody's got to pay for this better deal that these people over here with bad credit and no savings, their deal. So, what is the takeaway from this? Well, as I pointed out before, things do get worse as your credit gets worse. So don't let your credit get bad, but definitely stop bringing in a down payment, I guess. That's terrible to say because, of course, you're going to have a higher payment. But this is just nuts. And again, this is not banks. I'm not going to blame banks for this. This is the government. The banks, we hate this. I'm not a bank, so I shouldn't say we. I don't like it. I'm a lender. Anyway, so there we go with that. Let's maybe we'll go on to some better news here. Let's talk about the chart. All right. So this week, what is happening in real estate other than the government doing their government thing? All right. So median list price. Median list price has really kind of stagnated out. Now, that's good news for everybody. I could say it's bad news for everybody, but I'm not. It's good news for everybody. It is good news for sellers because you are still getting an incredibly high amount of money for your house. Things have not gotten worse for you. The median list price is just staying right there. For you buyers, hey, it has not gone up. So that is good news for buyers. It has not gone up. So we're going to take that as good news on both ends. All right, the median sales price, well, that's really kind of stayed right where it was. So again, good news for everybody. Sellers, things have not gotten worse for you. Buyers, things have not gotten worse for you. If you're a glass is half full kind of person, then it's like, well, nothing's gotten better for anybody, but we're going to go the other route, right? Okay. And let's see, let's talk about the available inventory. It should be going up. It really should. It is not. It only went up by 6 homes, which is not enough to show right there. So again, that's got to start coming up. It really does. But what did we have this week? Last week we had just a little over 2,000 homes hit the market. This week we have just 1,900 homes hit the market, which, that's still supplying it's still bringing the supply, not allowing that to drop. Of course, we can see the blue line has gone up, which indicates that pending sales are up because it is buying season and people are out there trying to buy a home. And I suppose a lot of people are out there trying to get locked into a rate before they had to pay a higher fee. Don't get me started. Well, actually, I already got started. I'm almost finished with that rant. So, all right. And rates. Well, what did rates do? We know what fees are going to do, but the actual rate, according to Freddie Mac, is 6.43% this week, which is up from 6.39. So it went up 0.04%. So we're still hovering around just below the 6.5%, which I think that might change by next week when we start seeing these new rate fee structures come in. Because as I pointed out, remember, not everybody's just going to pay that as a raw fee. You might say, wow, I'm being charged 1% for that loan. I don't want to be charged 1% for that rate. What can you do about that? And I say, well, fine. Instead of a rate of 6.43, you can have 6.5, and now you don't have to pay that extra fee. You'll just pay it over the life of the loan. So anyway, that's what's happening this week. Sorry if I ground your gears a little bit. Definitely grinds mine. But that's it. Thanks for joining me, and I hope to see you here next week. Take care. Bye.